think it's so cute the way my colleagues give names to the food in the fridge. Today I had a lasagna called Anne-Marie. Welcome to Shave&Butcher. I'm going to shave again with a gold dollar. I'm gonna see how many shaves I get on this edge. All I do is drop it on the hanging strop and we'll see. This will be number 3 today. Hopefully it's still good. Owned by Bill M. So I think the way to lather with Mitchell's wool fat, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna bloom it. This is the only soap I bloom. I'm gonna bloom it real quick. Bit of lukewarm water on top. Is with a Boar brush. It doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it better than another brush, but it's, that's just the way I think you should lather Mitchell's wool fat. I usually lather it with a badger brush, and I haven't thought this through. It just came to me. It should be a Boar brush. It really should be. So I'm going to lather with a Boar brush. Something about, the animalistic thing, because Mitchell's wool fat is an animal soap. It smells like animals. Smells like, so it's the Zenith Boar brush. It smells like, pour that out. It's a clean smell, but at the same time it smells like sheep. So it has tallow in it, and it has lanolin, which is just like wool fat from the sheep. How do you make it? I don't know. Maybe that is the tallow. I should check. But it smells clean and fresh and everything, but it has a rawness to it. It's, an animalistic type of scent. And I think Boar brushes is more raw, more animalistic. Is that even a word? Animalistic? What is he talking? Mommy, the bald shaving man is talking about animalistic. You can tell a Boar brush is made from fibers from an animal. I guess you could with a badger. It's just the badger brushes are pampered and they're bleached and they're nice colors and they're expensive and they have fancy handles. And how am I doing on lathering this thing? Good, I think. There's loads of suds in any event. And I know badger hair comes from badger brushes and the poor animals die in the process, as opposed to Boar. I don't know how you make Boar brushes, but it looks like a bit of the pig. Maybe I see pigs more often than I see badgers, or I used to. I pretty much grew up on a farm and there were pigs. They're filthy animals, I'm sorry. I eat the meat, I like the meat, but it's not a clean animal, I'm sorry. I've seen them. They eat so quickly, I shouldn't even tell you, but this is true and I've seen it. They eat so quickly, they get fed and they just swallow it, that they don't digest the food properly. I'm just trying to make this flat so I can start working on it. So they don't digest it, and then I'm sorry, and then it comes out the other way. This is true. It comes out the other way and they haven't digested the food, so there's quite a bit of nutrient left in it. And the buggers, a lot of the time, they eat it one more time. I'm not joking. People who think pigs are filthy animals or refuse to eat meat, I don't have a problem with that. I understand. Now, I eat pork, bacon and that sort of thing. And I don't think about their habits when I'm eating the stuff. But you know, sometimes I think about it. Jesus Christ. I don't do it all the time, and maybe not all of them, but it's pretty frequent. Okay, so this is slowly turning into a disgusting episode, but the lather is slowly turning into something reminiscent of toothpaste, which is what you want. God, I overloaded like a madman. We're going to be here for a while. I'm getting a cramp already. I just wanted to stay on the face. Stay on the face. I'm going to do a bit of this. See what happens. Because after 10 minutes of this, we're going to add water many times and work it in. But the thing is, you can't skip a step, because then you get a crap lather. Every time I try to rush things with Mitchell's wool fat, which is only when I'm on camera, I regret it, because it turns out airy. And the trick is to have maybe 1/10 of the lather that I have. God. You know, sometimes this brush and sometimes the Boar brushes are lather hogs. So they eat up the lather, and you gotta load like crazy to get enough soap. This soap has found its element. It's just a perfect fit. Yeah? Okay, we're just getting started. I'm going to add quite a bit of water, paint that in. But really, this is the way to enjoy Mitchell's wool fat. You can do it with a badger brush, you can do it with a synthetic, although I'm not sure I ever have used the synthetic on Mitchell's wool fat, because that would just be, you know, it's got a recipe from 1893. It's perhaps the most classic shaving soap in the world, at least out of the ones that are of any use. Could you see? Loads and loads of water in that I've added. And then, you know, with that classic kind of soap, take a synthetic brush. Or I don't think so. I have synthetic brushes that I enjoy, but I use them on modern soaps generally, because they're a modern invention. And this is traditional shaving. Now, nothing wrong with synthetic brushes at all. If anything, they're perhaps the best kind of brush, to be honest, because they're very consistent and easy to maintain them and everything. But it's, you know, not with Mitchell's. And I'm sure if you dig in the back catalogue, you'll find me using a synthetic with Mitchell's. My gut reaction is not to. I wonder if that's good. It's just one coating. No, I just said I would regret not doing it properly. So while I added a lot of water, I'm going to do one more decent coating. Do you think I have enough soap? Yeah. I think maybe for a few passes I have soap. It tastes quite nice. See, this is the problem when you get started and you start building and you have too much. It's just bloody everywhere. It's hard to make it pretty lather. So, traditional soap, traditional type of brush, good fit, old school, no synthetics, and then we're using a modern razor. Well, at least, you know, it's basic. It's a gold $66. Nothing fancy. I haven't even tried to make it look good. It looks okay. It's just very, very basic. And isn't that traditional? Huh? You could argue that it is. I lost the hair from the brush. But is it wet enough? It's a tad drier than usual. Yeah, I usually do 3 coatings, don't I? It's good though, but it's not. There you go. I had to shake it a bit. Never rush Mitchell's wool fat. Lovely lather though. It stays well. It's almost falling off from the weight. That's how wet it is. Very dense. Lovely. Anyone haven't tried Mitchell's wool fat? Or have you? What do you think about it? What do you think of it, rather? There you go. There you go. Can you see how thick that is? Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy too. There you go. There you go. But it's on the dry side. Razor's doing well. Razor's doing very well. Good job, Bill. But I think, yeah, Bill is. He was saying in a recent video that he hasn't done a longevity test with a gold dollar. I think that's what he said. I think that's interesting because the general idea is that yeah, and very slick. Wonder if I should do no. What I was going to say is I wonder if I should do the second pass on just residual slickness. But I won't because I have way too much lather to use. Oh, so yeah, the general idea is that higher quality steel, higher quality straight razors are good for more shaves before you have to, you know, fresh up the edge. So perhaps that is the case. I don't know. I've done 70 shaves with a straight razor before it was rehoned, and that was my Erik Anton Berg. The full inch meat cleaver, you know. And towards the end, you know, it wasn't perfect by any means, but got the job done. 70 shaves. This was a few years ago. Perhaps I'd be more spoiled today. So I wanted to refreshen it a bit earlier. But that's pretty good. And that razor's amazing. One of my very best razors. So smooth. And it's old as hell. It's probably 100 years old and it's beaten up, and I just love that thing. But this one's doing well also. And the lather's holding up very nicely. And I'm putting a bit of alum on here again. And the scent, what is the scent like? What does Mitchell's smell like? Well, a bit like an animal, right? But it smells clean. It's a clean kind of animal. You know, strapped. Sort of. You take a sheep or a God, what is it called? Baby sheep, a lamb. Do they smell differently? I don't know. I grew up with sheep as well. They're clever animals, bloody good at escaping. So you take a lamb and you wash it with your typical everyday old school bar hotel soap. And you let it dry. There's the lamb. That's what it smells like. Do you agree? If you've used this soap, do you agree? Or how would you describe the scent? I know powdery, but you know, like vividly, how would you vividly explain it? What's an everyday thing that smells like this? You know, like a lamb cleaned by a hotel bar soap. Yeah, that happens every day. No, it doesn't. Not in this house. Okay. That was bloody good. Bloody terrific. I'm not supposed to shave now. I'm supposed to shave later on. But if I don't shave, I have to clean the basement, my wife says. And I don't want to. So I wonder what I will be shaving next. The dog, maybe. But then she'd be crossed, my wife. The dog would look like, I don't know, it would look like a rat, I think. We don't want that. What do we use? What do we use? Naturally, we use Hidda Uppsala from Sweden. Quite synthetic. This, you can pick this up in at the supermarket, but it's a classic. Citrus and sandalwood. It's actually a pretty good match with Mitchell's. So it was Mitchell's wool fat and a Boar brush. No, now they're both on screen. Scream. That's how we roll. Let me know what you think. See you soon, boys and girls, and stay sharp.